I have something to say and I need you to hear it. It's something that not only affects me, but affects you and your friends and family as well. After the election, I was overwhelmed with the amount of issues facing our country, and I felt like my voice wasn't being heard on any of them. Resisting was exhausting. So instead, I decided to focus on trying to understand the root cause of what led us to this situation. What I found out was terrifying. We have become a nation fighting for scraps. This chart shows the share of wealth owned by the top 0.1% in the light blue line versus the bottom 90% in the dark blue line that's been decreasing for 4 decades. It's now just over half of what it used to be just one generation ago. And when we look at the top 1%, it's the top 0.01% that's seen the excessive gains. So this means one out of every 10,000 families is winning really big at the expense of nearly everyone else. What we're witnessing is not normal. The last time we saw this level of imbalance was around the time of the Great Depression. Of course, this has consequences, and we're living with these consequences right now. It should come as no surprise that one of those consequences is political polarization and the divide that we're experiencing as a country today. What this means is that as inequality increases, it becomes harder for our elected officials to work together on not only solving this problem, but all sorts of other critical problems facing our country and the world. The Trump presidency will go down in history as the result of long-term inaction to this one problem. Desperate people will continue to make desperate decisions. Financial impotence has swept through this country. This problem has gotten so bad that it is killing us. Despite medical advancements, our average lifespan has decreased for the last 3 years in a row due to deaths of despair. We are literally dying from despair. Nearly half of us can't come up with $400 for an emergency. And half of the working age population has $5,000 or less in retirement savings. The truly terrifying part is that once you understand how we got to this point, you'll realize that things are about to get much, much worse. But only if we let it. I'm a mom to 2 amazing boys. They are my world. I'm passionate about reversing the economic inequality trends because I think that this is the most critical issue facing our country. I see how this problem has affected my entire generation and know that if we do nothing, things will only intensify. What does that mean for the next generation? We need to do better for them, and we can. But first you have to understand how we got to this point, because by using this knowledge, but putting it to work so that it benefits everyday people is how we'll ultimately reverse these trends. So let me take you to school for the next 3 minutes, and then I'll tell you how we can change this. The third industrial revolution, also known as the digital revolution, brought about advancements in technology which enabled the personal computer and automation. Whole industries like mining and manufacturing, as well as whole geographic areas, have been decimated because so much more can be done with so much less human involvement. Historically, it was blue-collar workers who have shouldered the brunt of the impact, but we're approaching a whole new era which will affect all industries and pay grades. The emerging technology of the fourth industrial revolution makes the technology of the past look like child's play. Computers are now learning and becoming smarter than humans. Algorithms and software can take complex professional tasks such as underwriting, settling claims, selecting investments, interacting with customers, diagnosing conditions, and much, much more, and do it increasingly better and cheaper than humans. Improvements can be rolled out nationally or globally with minimal effort. This means underwriters are not just competing with other underwriters, but with the smartest data scientists, all racing to perfect their algorithms. One person can write code that could replace an entire profession. This is the world that we're entering. Competition for the remaining jobs will be fierce. Computers and smartphones have also created a shifting business model. Historically, value was created by delivering a good or a service. Examples include Marriott, taxicabs, and the New York Times. Now the most successful companies are ones who facilitate valuable interactions, such as Uber, Airbnb, and Facebook. The world's largest taxi company owns no taxis. The world's largest accommodations provider owns no real estate. The most popular media outlet owns no content. These companies dominate the market but provide support to relatively few employees. Not only are they incredibly lean, but they are benefiting from some seriously favorable US tax law. Think about this. Amazon is now worth as much as the entire US GDP in 1970 and paid $0 in federal income tax last year. Not only that, they received a $129 million tax rebate from the federal government. These successful tech giants have typically raised funds through venture capital investors who value growth and profit and are looking for an eventual initial public offering, where the equity of the company is sold to shareholders, and the company's mission is then to maximize shareholder value. There is a misalignment of interest between the shareholders of these companies and the communities that they support. Billions of dollars are being spent on powerful emerging technology, with no focus being put on building a safety net for all of those who will be displaced by it. When you put all of this together, it creates the obnoxious concentration of wealth that we're seeing today, where 3 people are now worth more than half the population, and the top 1% is worth more than the bottom 90%. The solution is not to resist it, but to use it for our benefit. I'm just one person, but I know that we can be putting these tools together in a way that benefits us all. So how do we do this? Well, it's actually much easier than you think. First, join the community and download the app. I know what you're thinking. What's playing around on another app going to do to solve economic inequality? Well, actually, a lot. We need to prove that there is a better way, that we can be using technology, but to benefit our members, and that we could be providing financial stability and support to our members. And to do this, we need to grow the community. Right now, our voice is small, but with each new member, our voice gets louder. By sharing and engaging with the community, you're helping us grow stronger. And as we grow stronger, we can provide more benefits to all of our members. When I think of the impact that just one person can make in today's environment, if the cause that they were championing was the working class and using their good fortune to set up tools to enable everyday people to succeed. If Warren Buffett or Bill Gates or Mark Zuckerberg or Larry Ellison or Michael Bloomberg or any of the other billionaires pledging to give away half of their wealth used it to benefit the hardworking Americans that are struggling to get by, the impact would be extraordinary. These people will be key to solving so many problems, but the working class has continued to be overlooked. And these people own just a percentage of a company. We're taking this concept, but on a corporate level, and designating the cause up front. We're saying that there's enough to go around, and anyone who financially benefits from their investment in this community will be sharing it with the members who use the community as an alternative to traditional employment. By building a community first, we can establish this and ensure that all interests are aligned around the betterment of the community. If you think about the impact that just one individual who owns a percentage of a corporation can make, you can easily see how significant this can be. So join the community. It's free, fun, and easy.